In our last video, we looked at finding the perimeter and the area of rectangles and parallelograms. So we're going to build on that. We had an area formula for a parallelogram. We said the formula to find the area of a parallelogram was the base times the height. So the area of this parallelogram here would be, let me get the marker here we go. So the area of that parallelogram would be the base times the height, 6 times 4, area would be 24. Okay, so the area of that parallelogram, 24, and we did that in the last video. Now we're going to look at what happens if we take that parallelogram and we split it in half. So if I split it in half, I've created a triangle. I've created that triangle, and what's the area of the triangle? Well, if I had a parallelogram and the parallelogram was 24, and I take half of it away, the area of that triangle is going to be half of the area of the parallelogram, 12. So if we want to find the area of any triangle, we can use a formula. And the area for any triangle, the area formula for any triangle is we take the area of the parallelogram, base times height, we just divide it in half, divided by 2. So the area of a triangle formula, area equals base times height divided by 2. And again, this is why we're not using length and width. We're using base and height because it works for almost all the formulas we're going to use. So the area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2 because it's half of a parallelogram. The perimeter of a triangle, there really isn't a formula for the perimeter of a triangle. If you really want one, it's side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. Pretty complicated. But you add the 3 sides together. That's it. So there's really no formula for the area of for the perimeter of a triangle. Trapezoid. A trapezoid is a shape that has exactly one set of parallel sides. Remember, a parallelogram was 2 opposite sides were parallel. For a trapezoid, it has to be only one set of opposite sides are parallel. This is when we think of a trapezoid, we typically think of this particular shape, like a Pizza Hut sign. This is what's called an isosceles trapezoid, but it doesn't have to be this way. You could have a trapezoid that looks like that. Only one set of sides are parallel. So that's another way that you could show or have a trapezoid, but we'll go with this one for now. And we're going to be asked to find the area of that trapezoid. The formula for this is a little bit harder to come to. It's a little bit harder to develop, but we're going to do it right here. We're going to build off of what we already have. We already have a formula for the area of a triangle. So I'm going to make this into 2 triangles. There we go. Triangle 1, triangle 2. Done. If I find the area of this first triangle over here, the area of that triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So 8 times 3 divided by 2, I'm going to get 12. So the area of that triangle right there, 12. Now looking at this second triangle over here, if I want to find the area of this triangle, I need to know the base and the height as well. Well, I know the area, okay, so base times height divided by 2, the base is 6, but I don't know the height. It works out that if I put my triangle back over here, the height of both of the triangles ends up being exactly the same. From top to bottom, the height of that second triangle is 3. Because again, it's from top to bottom, and the very tippy top of that triangle is still the same as the first triangle. That 3 right there, from the top to the bottom was 3, so from the top to the bottom is still going to be 3. So if I use that idea that the height is the exact same for both triangles, the area of my second triangle is going to be 6 times 3 divided by 2, which is going to give me 9. So the area of the whole trapezoid altogether then would be the first triangle and the second triangle together. The total area would be 21. There you go, Hunter. You're welcome. And so the area of that triangle, of that trapezoid would be 21. Now let's figure out how we can do this every time without having to split it into triangles. You can always do this. For any test, quiz, whatever, you can always split it into 2 triangles, find the area of both the triangles, add them together. It'll work. You can always do that. But if we had a formula, that might be a little bit easier, or at least a little bit faster. And so let's look. What do both of these triangles have in common? Well, they both have a height that's the same. We're doing times 3 for both of them, so I'm just going to put times 3 here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just put the 3. So I know that it's going to be the height is the same for both of them. And the divided by 2, that's the same for both of them. Okay, so divided by 2, that's the same. What else is the same for both of these? I think that's about it. The only thing that's different is the 8 and the 6. The two bases are different. In the end, we added the 12 and the 9 together. So this would be kind of like doing 8 plus 6, because we're adding those two bases together. Or we're adding those two areas together. Well, let's see what this works out to be. If I do 8, if I do parentheses, PEMDAS, 8 plus 6, I'm going to get 14. And 14 times 3 is going to be, what, 30, 42. Divided by 2 is 21. Hey, it worked out. In fact, for any trapezoid that we have, we can take the height of the trapezoid, multiply it by the sum of the two bases, and then divide it by 2. And we get that formula exactly how we did this. We saw that there were two different triangles, and what they had in common was the divided by 2 and the times 3, the height and the divided by 2, and then we add the bases together. What you can write then, what you can write for your formula is this right here. And I would recommend drawing that picture. So pause it, write that down. We've got the area is the height times base 1 plus base 2. That 1, the 1 and the 2 don't make a difference, but it's just base sub 1, base sub 2. We've got two different bases. So the 1 and the 2 are not exponents. It just means that we have two different bases, and we have to add them together. And it doesn't matter which one is 1 or 2. So again, pause it, draw the picture, write the formula. Okay, I'm assuming you did that. We're going to move on. There we go. So I'd like you to find the perimeter of these two figures. I'm assuming that you went ahead and found the perimeters, and so the perimeter of the first one, excuse me, got a pen here. Perimeter of the first one should be 26. Perimeter of the second one should be 49. And again, you get that just by adding up all the sides. Go ahead and pause it, give this one a try. I want you to find the value of x. So what would x have to be if the perimeter is 16 and the perimeter is 28? So again, go ahead and pause it, give this a try on your own. You should have found that x equals 4 for the first one, and that x equals 5 for the second one. If you did not get those answers, click the link or watch the other video and see how it was done. For the next one, I would like you to pause it. And again, you need to pause. You need to try it on your own first. Don't just write the answer, because you'll need to be able to do this on your own later. I want you to pause it, find the area of those two figures. I'm assuming you paused it. I'm going to tell you the answers. Again, if you don't get the right answers, make sure that you click the link or watch the other video to see how it was done. So the first one then, we should have that the area is 70. And the second one, the area is 42.5. And if you did not get those results, make sure that you click the link or watch the video so you know how to do it correctly next time. All right, you're also going to be asked to find the area after you've graphed something. So again, we're going to do this graphing bit. So I'm going to graph -2, 2, there it is. I'm going to graph 4, 2, there it is. And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there we go. And hey, I've got a triangle. I know how to find the area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. And again, I'm going to put the answer. If you don't get the right answer, make sure that you are you're watching that video. Area ends up being 9. 9 square units, but we'll just go with 9 since there weren't any units to give. And the last one here, again, we're going to graph it. So pause it, graph it on your own, try and find the area. I'm assuming you paused it. You tried to graph it and tried to find the area. I'm going to put the points on. So -1, -2, 5, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -2. Okay. 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 2. There we go. And -1, 6, 2, 4, 6. There it is. And if I connect the dots, I have a trapezoid. I have a trapezoid. It's not a square, it's not a rectangle, it's not a triangle, but two of the sides are parallel. So it is a trapezoid. And the area for this one ends up being 36 square units. If you did not get 36, again, make sure you pause or watch the video, watch the link, so that you can get the right answer on your own. And that's it. Okay, good luck on the form.